Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name's Rowan, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my website project. So, basically, the website that I've built for the website project for this class is actually a new website for a company I work for called AWM Water Features. And we've actually needed a new website for a while, so this was a good opportunity to go ahead and do that. So, in terms of how I've met the project guidelines, the functional requirements I've met by having 8 web pages minimum. So as you can see, I don't actually have 8 tabs up here. But if I go to my contact page, I've got some other web pages like my review page, which is a standalone page where you can go and leave reviews. And then the other pages that I have are my gallery pages. So for example, I've got a video gallery here, which are different videos that I've filmed for AWM Water Features. I've got a waterfalls gallery and galleries for our ponds and small water features pictures. And then in terms of the file names and directories and everything like that, everything's lowercase, and everything is formatted correctly and everything like that, as you can see just by the fact that everything is showing up. Each page is narrowly focused. So out of all of them, that I would say is the least narrowly focused is the About Us page. But I would say everything is relevant because up here we've got a description of the company, all of the team members, so my boss, my foreman, and then me. I've got the table here, which is a requirement. So I've got our typical summer schedule when we normally do large projects, small projects, what maintenance looks like throughout the summer, and then our major events that we're at. And then down here, I've got some highlighted reviews, and then obviously those buttons again to go leave reviews for the company. And then we got the table covered, proper and easy to read HTML structure. So as you'll be able to see here, all of our HTML here is nicely indented. Everything is organized as it should be. Right now I'm on the contact page. Let's go to the index page, which would be the home page right here. So everything is built in a block format, which makes everything nice and easy to organize. So as you can see here, I've got articles that float to the left, articles that float to the right, and then that is what you can see on the home page with the articles that favor one side or the other. And then, let's see. Obviously, I've got my HTML5 doc types declared and everything like that. So each page has the same thing up here. Working navigation on each page, you've seen me mess with that. And obviously, all the HTML validates at validator, which actually everything that matters about them validates at the validating website, except one thing, which is this frosted glass effect that I've got on the background, because that is actually an experimental feature. So if I go to my styles page here, you'll see, like, I already acknowledged this in the comments. So experimental web feature can be viewed in Microsoft Edge, and actually it works in Safari as well. But as you can see, I'm in Chrome, and I've actually got experimental web features enabled on Chrome. If you don't have that, then you'll just see a bluer version, I guess, of the picture, but it won't be blurred like this. But that is the only thing that doesn't validate at the validation website, because it's not a widely accepted feature yet. I think it will be in the future. So in terms of the design requirements, the overall visual appeal and uniformity of the page, I would say, is there. You know, everything looks the same, except for the Ponderings blog. I wanted to have more of a standalone blog look to it. And I figured the white backgrounds would make the text easier to read in that situation, since you would be doing a lot of reading. But otherwise, every page has that frosted glass effect and is blocked out with the black borders and everything like that. The external style sheet definitely has enough rules to qualify. As you can see, I think, let me see here. Yeah, I've got 493 lines of code written here. So that definitely meets the requirements. I definitely have at least 5 images and photos, as well as several that are linked to external sources. So as you saw with the galleries, you can click on the picture to get into the gallery, or there's always the option of clicking on the actual title too. And then all of my images are optimized for a high resolution display, because a lot of these are significantly higher resolution than what they're displayed here. So for example, quite a few of these are over 2000 pixels in the vertical direction, but obviously this is only like a 500 by 600 image here. I have a favicon associated with every web page, so you can see the little water droplet up there. Correct grammar and spelling. I've run everything through Grammarly, so that should be set, and then that should complete the design requirements. So in terms of SEO, each web page has a unique title to it. That's the favicon that I accidentally opened up in here. Yeah, so each web page has its own unique title. So you'll see here AWM Water Features Gallery, AWM Water Features, since that's the home page, or on the review page it says Review AWM Water Features. So those are all unique in that sense. And then relevant pages also have description meta tags. So here on the gallery page, there's a description for that, and that helps in case somebody is specifically looking up like water feature pictures or something like that. Then if our gallery page is what shows up in those results, then this is the description that they would see. And then small water features, videos, everything in the gallery has a unique one. So that is what I've got in terms of meta tags. Then obviously I've gone over the alt text on all of my pictures and everything like that. So you can see water features for small space, which I think would be a fairly popular phrase to search in Google if people are looking for small water features. And then all of my indexed pictures have alt text. So for example, the Certified Aquascape Contractor logo, which is right here, that has alt text, and obviously all of these other pictures have that as well. And then heading tags are all organized to indicate importance again, and all of my links are descriptive, and all of the IDs and classes are set up in such a way that it's easy to find them via a search engine. And then lastly, my descriptive IDs and classes are set up in an organized fashion so that a search engine can use those as they're supposed to be used. Accessibility wise, every page has actually, I guess this is more related to SEO, but every page has a meta tag with the description and everything like that. But more importantly, all of the pictures have alt text associated with them. So you can see there, we got the video gallery, waterfalls, ponds, small water features, and then within each of the galleries, you're able to see that each of them has alt text. I didn't differentiate for each one of them because I plan on adding a lot more pictures to those galleries, obviously, and I don't want to have to differentiate it for each of them, so I put in what I figured would be acceptable for search engine optimization and for accessibility. HTML elements are all in the proper order and everything. So you can see I've got my body, then the container div, and then I've got like my H1 elements. There are pages where I have more than that though. For example, the about page. I've got H1 elements, H2 elements, and more H2 elements and paragraph elements as you go down the page here. And then as you can see right here on the about page, I've got all of my table formatted correctly. So I've got the caption and all of the headings and everything like that set up as they need to be. My descriptive links are pretty solid as well. One thing that you'll notice on the web page is that I have a button class actually set up, which technically are not buttons, but it's a formatting of the links to make it look like buttons. So when you hover over them, the borders change and everything. So each of those links has descriptive text attached to it. So for example, I don't have click here written there. It's more specific than that. And then finally, we move on to the form requirements. So as you can see, my form is responsive, and actually I can show you that on the other web pages as well. So it shrinks down to size and everything like that. I'm not too worried about the text box because if you're on a phone, you know, you can always type in there. It's still accessible. It just goes off the edge a little bit. And then obviously as I shrink this down to mobile size, everything just kind of stacks as it's intended to. And things do the same when I move to the tablet size. So same type of deal when it comes to the galleries. They'll stack on top of each other and line up for the mobile viewport. Also, one thing that you guys can try out if you want to, I have a thank you page here, which I suppose I could open up just to show you what it looks like. That also follows the style guidelines. Oh, I guess I didn't change that yet. But I'm going to fix this so that this return home button matches the other buttons on the website. But yeah, so this is what the thank you page looks like when you submit the form. The title of the form, I mean, is descriptive in the sense that you get the sense of what you're supposed to use it for, which is to contact AWM Water Features with any questions or anything that you might have. In terms of what is on the form, fit all the major elements here: first name, last name, email, and that all works correctly. So it validates the email. It's a required field, everything like that. One of the things that's required of the form is that you have a state drop down. I instead chose to opt for a referral drop down so that customers can say how they heard of us, either from Google search or our social media or through other sources. So in terms of ways that I think my website is pretty strong, the consistency across the web pages and everything like that, I feel is a pretty strong characteristic of them. And I feel like people will like how everything matches the logo in that respect. And some ways that my website is a little bit, poses a little bit of a challenge or could be improved is, for one thing, I still have a little bit of an issue with the Ponderings blog where my padding on the top of the page isn't where it's supposed to be for some reason. So that's something that I'll have to figure out in the future. And then also on my galleries pages, these pictures are actually linked, but as you can see, it takes you to a coming soon page. And that's something that I'm actually going to change because I want to I want to implement JavaScript elements that make it so that you have what you normally find on web page galleries, where when you click on an image, it pops up and expands, and then the background is darkened. So that's something that I want to mess around with later on when I actually go to implement this website as the official website of AWM Water Features. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little website tour. If you have any suggestions for me for how I could change things or improve things, definitely be sure to leave those down below. And I'm excited to see what all of your guys' websites look like.